VO in Stereo is sponsored by Bodalgo, international voice acting platform.
Welcome back to VO in Stereo. As always, I'm your host, Jared Brushers, along with me, co-host and producer, Stephen Coghill. Today's awesome. Today's really awesome because on this episode, we have a Canadian actress and VO artist. Let's see. She has endlessly been performing for over 40 years, bringing her particular magic to the entertainment field. Please help me welcome theatrical alchemist, Elley Ray.
Elley Ray! Woo!
Elley Ray, sir! Elley Ray, sir! Welcome.
Love it.
Oh my God.
Woo! Welcome.
Oh my God, we're all together. Here I are with
We're
Jay
all
and
together.
Steve.
We're all
It's all very
geez.
exciting. Give a hoopla, yippity doo dah. Yeah.
Bam,
baby, come
bam. Bring
on.
on the band.
Everything's good. Now
Thank
listen
you
up.
so much for being here. This is just
Yes.
this is an incredible delight. I'm so excited. As always, I'm going to kick it over to Stephen, get us started, and keep us a little bit on track.
Keep us on track, Stephen. Let's
Let's go.
Cool.
Ellie, my first question to you is my first question to everybody is, where are you from? Where were you born?
Oh, well, I'm from a little planet quite far away, Andromeda. But, I settled sort of in the Toronto, Ontario, Canada of the Earth zone, the Earth planet. So I guess you could say I sort of hail from Canada currently.
From the stars to Canada. Love it.
From the stars to
From the
Canada.
stars to
Yeah,
Canada,
you got it.
baby.
Makes sense.
And how long have you been there, like your whole life, or did you move around, or did you grow up there?
I was born here. I've lived in several places, taken up homesteads about the planet. I just kind of move. I like to kind of travel through space and time in waking hours and sleeping hours.
Love it.
Consciousness, neural pathways. There's a lot of movement going around. So when people ask me where I'm from, I always have this kind of joyous, oh, you can decide. I've probably met you there. I spend a lot of time traveling. Before COVID, I do about 38 flights a year.
Oh, wow.
So I move around a lot. I don't find it that I'm very stationary. And, I have been stationary, as we were just discussing a few minutes ago, for, the world has kind of shut down a bit. Not consciously, in my dream state, but it's shut down in a kind of an active matter state. So I find that fascinating because it makes us more reliant on our imagination for traveling, and it's kind of great.
That is true. I never thought of it that way.
I don't think much.
You can be wherever you want to be in your mind.
That is true. That is true. And did you, growing up, did you grow up like as a little girl in Toronto?
Grow up? I don't think that's that. I haven't.
All right.
I don't. I'm waiting for that. Is that a thing? Is that a place? Is that an
chronologically and mentally? I think that's two different things for sure.
Don't do it. It's a trap.
Right. Well, I came in, I'm 3 countless eons old. So, I mean, growing up is, I think we need to grow down if that's the case. We actually don't want to grow up. But my growing periods were probably in my grandparents' farm is where I grew the most, I would say, which is up between Ferguson, Guelph, countryside in Ontario. Spent a lot of my formative, this time round years, sort of there, developing a keen sense of humanity at the farm.
I think I already know the answer to this question, but I'm guessing that somewhere along the line, you and the animals had conversations, and you were doing the ebb and flow.
I'm an animal whisperer. Yeah. Before I took down Atlantis, I was a they did a lot of testing with human and animals, and I was kind of a beast. I was a sort of human beast on all fours, apparently, according
hybrid.
to those that know and rebirth you and do all those things. And I can speak to animals. Speaking of which, I've got an animal. Shirley, come here, sweetheart.
Yes, I've seen all the videos online with your with your dogs. And they're just so much fun. I mean, they're every day, but there's just so much fun. There's treat time and happy time and fun time.
Treaty Weenies, the Treaty
Weenies. That's right. Oh yeah, the Treaty Weenies. So definitely.
Oh my gosh! And then one heard me yell Treaty Weenie, and she
look at that.
Oh, the sweet puppers.
That's my old golden girl.
Yes, I see lots of trips to the vet and those things lately.
$16,000 in a month for a soul that is probably one of the most loving gentles in reality. Look at that.
Look at the face. Love it. You gotta love it.
Animals.
Me too.
Hey, that's our inspiration. Like, what do we love? Well, we certainly don't love ourselves, folks, and it should start with that. But the way you speak to your dogs, your cats, your horses, your donkeys, these beloveds is the way that the world needs to be spoken to. We're going to do right? That they will help you with communication because they remind us what love is. They are loyal and they are loving, and they hopefully help train us so that we can uplift humanity through storytelling. That's how it all rolls, kind of in the cyclical world of animal speak, right? Well, we are beasts of burden, aren't we?
Oh, absolutely. We're one of the worst animals on the planet, right? Us human beings are anyway.
Beasties. We're little beasties.
The other ones are perfect. I love the way they can, the animals are so empathetic. And they can just tell, like even when like
the touchstones, man, they know it all. They never complain. They never complain.
They always want to be there.
You're not going to see an animal complain unless they've been brutally tortured, and then they're scared and they're scared, so they get depressed, and then there's a bit of anger involved. But that's just from abuse.
You got your love of. You got your love of animals from.
I love all animals, including the human realm, the humanoids, the non-humanoids. I mean, come on, there's so many beasties everywhere that need in so many realms. And, communication is the human connection. And, we happen to have a brain and an instrument that allows us to express language that most of us share. So there's an uplifting quality that can connect us. And that's what we're doing right now. So this little clan of animals that are all watching and listening, you're awesome.
Even you, Teddy.
Yes. Are you in your booth right now? Is that your booth?
Am I in my booth? No. My booth is beside me.
Okay, I'm just checking.
Is small. My booth, yeah. My booth is small.
Okay.
It's a kind of like, I call it my temple. So the temple is it's got room for me and dogs at my feet, and I literally go into the temple. The word is the prayer, and off we go. It's like my Tesla or my spaceship or I don't know. It's you. We talked about traveling a few minutes ago. That's where I travel, all over the world.
Yes.
Talk with many people.
Exactly.
Yeah.
You're traveling right now.
Yeah. Oh,
Absolutely. So
I'm jettisoning.
So you got your love of animals. You growing up on a farm with your grandparents in the middle of Canada.
Yes.
And
yes.
And how did you were like a creative kid? How did that come about?
I'll give you what do you think? Okay, so here's my favorite story of all time. So, there's a reason that my parents drank. My mother's no longer with us, but and that is because the child, meaning myself, which is still here.
I couldn't tell.
I was born a month and a half premature, and I ran. I got up and ran at 8 months, causing much consternation to those. They used to put me in a harness because they built a 6-foot fence to keep me in the backyard. And I learned at 2 years old how to climb over the fence. And my mom came out one day when she was hanging the laundry. She went in for a second, came back out. The harness was empty. The child was gone. And I was 3 houses over with fences dividing our houses. And the kid was gone. The kid, me.
Yeah.
They told my parents that I was, they called me Houdini. So my nickname was Houdini and Dainty. So, I used to jump out my bedroom window. My mom would, at 3, she'd hear the front door in the middle of the night, like 4 a.m. or something. And she'd be like, oh, what? And the child, me, on a tricycle in the dark, zooming off in my mom in her nightgown, chasing after the child. Elley Ray, what? I had places to go. Apparently, I had things to do. So I had to be locked in. I literally had to be locked in. And they told my parents they used the word retarded. One of the nuns at my kindergarten class, who was a teacher, and I had to repeat kindergarten. Oh, and my parents were like quite concerned, and they talked the principal into letting me move into grade 1. In grade 2, they wanted to skip me 2 grades.
Yeah, you got to lock down that finger painting and stacking blocks for you move on, right?
Well, that. Hey, listen, they made me take my left hand. I used to write with my left hand. They made me color with my right hand because the devil uses the left hand. Oh, yeah. But when I got to grade 6, they wanted to skip me ahead. Anyway, long story short, they couldn't understand what was wrong with me. I would have been diagnosed with autism, ADHD, ADD. But Dr. Susan K. Martin correlated a book about hyperactivity and creativity in children, because I used to rock back and forth quite violently. And I used to, you speak in another language, and I talk to imaginary friends. And I just, what was like, the child is like, please stop moving and stop talking. Like, you've got to stop moving and stop talking. Of course, I'm in the communicative, that's what I do now, because all my report cards will not stop talking. Yeah, and it's like, please shut up, please stop moving, and please be quiet. And I remember I had a child psychologist my whole life, and they do all these like wild tests to qualify what, I had a kind of a savant thing where I could look at cross-hatchings, 10,000 of them, and you go, which one is different? I go, that one. And they go, how can you tell? And it could be like, I'm a kid, right? Like that, but I can remember the tests. And I get these big boards with all these different shapes in them. And I had to complete a task, and they dump out the board with all the shapes. And then I do it 5 times in a row. Every time I completed a task, put the star in the star, the half moon in the half moon, the square in the square, the circle, da, da, da. Every time I completed a task, I got a star on a piece of paper. Well, I'd do it 5 times, and then I get bored, because we'd be together for an hour with the psychologist or psychiatrist. And then I'd just pick up a half moon, and I'd go, and I'd try to jam it into a square. And because I can remember going like, why am I doing this? This is dumb. I know you're watching me, and I know you're writing notes about me. So I just pretend I didn't know how to do it anymore. Yes. Well, and there are no rules in creativity. So as soon as you start to, institutionalized training will take away everything that is authentically creative about you, that's right? So our whole existence is to try to unlearn what they have shoved down our throats as beings since we were little. Don't do this, don't do that, don't do all of your most creative, liberated, authentic things. And sit down, be quiet, raise your hand to speak, and don't move. Well, I'd just get up in grade 2 out of the class and leave. Miss Cook would be like, Elley Ray. And I'd be like, I got places to go. Bye. And I'm like, I'd leave the school. I'd walk down the hall. I'd be gone. It was like, where's the kid going? I never in my mind, I knew where I wanted to go. I would just take off. And there would always be the mad hunt for the child.
Now, you got this mad hunt for the child. But like, when did you know in your heart of hearts that like, that expression and the empathy and everything that tied into using all your powers for entertainment purposes? Like, when did you know?
Well, I don't think there was ever a crossover. I mean, entertainment was
who you are.
The connection. I came in knowing I am here to uplift humanity. Nice. That's my job. I knew it as a child. I knew it. I knew, when I would sing and dance and do magic shows when I was a little kid. I don't know where it comes from. It was always sort of I would say a part of my DNA. It's part of my ancestral sort of journey through lifetimes and lifetimes. I believe that I've always been a communicator. I was, I was told, interestingly enough, not only was I retarded in kindergarten, but by the time I got to university with 3 scholarships, I might add, because, I have a high IQ apparently, but
You've done fantastic for a retard.
Unbelievable, but that's how I was labeled. So I kind of was like, well, here we go, okay. But I got to university and they said, and I went to theater school for 4 Bachelor of Fine Arts 4-year program.
Very cool.
And they said, you'll never do voice work. Everything is wrong with your instrument. It's a very unattractive instrument. Your nasal, I'm a mouth breather because I've had 4 rhinoplasties for a deviated septum. I have Gore-Tex in there, hockey equipment. I've got cartilage from behind my ear trying to open up my breathing airways. And it's still, they want to do birthday. I know, yay, scores. And
but that's awesome.
Exactly right. I'm a police officer on the ice. I've got a cathedral ceiling to the roof of my mouth. I've got an overbite. I'm nasal. I'm wet. I'm plosive. I'm like, forget it. You're never going to do voice. I thought, oh, okay. Well, I'll do film and television. No, you're not going to do film and television either because you're too tall. You're too angular. You're too masculine, and you're too flat-chested, and you're too something. You're too big. You're too something. You're too much. You're just, again, be quiet. Can you just sit over there and be quiet? We'll take your money, but really, we don't know what to do with you. You're ahead of your time. You and Stephen Wimet, go direct yourselves. So I kind of was like, okay, I'll do theater, right? Of course, I graduated and I got into 2 of the largest theaters in Canada. I got a television series. I got a movie. I got an animation series. So I was like, I'm so confused. I don't know what's happening. And I don't look back because I believe if you give it, you will get it. So if you want to be part of the world, you just have to be in the world that you want to be a part of. Surround yourself with the things which I never let go of. I surrounded myself with everything that I've always wanted to do, which is communication. And it will come to you. And if you sit outside of it and dream about it asleep, it's going to be dreams asleep.
That's true.
But if you
let me ask you a question.
Your life yourself in it, then you've got it.
Now you said something about they tried to make you from right hand to a left hand. Are you still left-handed?
Well, here's the really weird thing. I will throw. I'm a lefty for some things, and I'm a righty for some things. But when I'm teaching to open up neural pathways in my students, I get them to listen to theta brain music. Theta brain, as opposed, we're in beta brain. Beta brain will not help a creative individual. It's worry, time, money, control. Get out of beta brain. That's where everybody lives. You want to be in theta. Open up neural pathways. Write with your opposite hand. It's going to look like chicken scratch. It's going to look up, but you need to, if you're a pianist, which I play the piano too, both hands have to operate equally on the keyboards. You can't just have a dominant hand.
So do you write with your left hand?
I write with my right hand.
So they did beat you into submission for writing.
Yeah, they institutionalized me.
No, they try to do the same thing for me. I'm left-handed, and they tried to get me to write with my right hand. I was like, this is dumb. And they're like, no, okay, keep writing.
And it felt, and it's like I will do chopsticks with my left hand.
But I'm the same way. I feel like I'm right-dominated, but I write with my left hand, so
Well, and I'll throw, it's like I get confused. It's like my brain pathways, hang on, Shirley, will open up. And I go, I'm going to, so I'm a lefty on some things. I go brush my hair with my left hand.
Yeah.
It's odd. I don't get it.
It's weird. I brush my teeth. But I'm a left-handed guitar player, and I don't know.
Well, and it's like I go, what leg do you like to stand on? So I'll go, when I'm working with folks in studio, I'll say, stand on your left leg and put your right hand in the air, and then touch your nose with your left hand and cross your eyes. Now say the line.
And then half the students
and
fall on the floor.
So much about, and what happens is they're so worried about standing and balancing that they say the line properly. That's just opening up neural pathways.
Yeah, that's just distracting your brain from.
That's what we need to do. Yeah. Stop thinking about it.
Too much thinking. Just like Everett and Oliver said, get out of your brain, get out of your own head. What are you doing?
Well, and it's like I always say, there's a field, meet me there. And all my students always go, well, where is it? And I go, you'll know when you're there.
Oh, see? making you use your imagination. That is the key.
That's the key.
Open up your closed door.
Out your head, because the matter, the mind that is a part of this matter is not going to help you be creative. That's not going to work, right?
I love that.
That just won't. It won't. Hang on one second. I'm just letting my dog out.
Yes.
Hang on 1 second.
This is how we do a puppy break. Let the dog out. Woo.
It's a booty break. It's a booty break. I'm back.
So your students, are they mostly younger students? Are they all ages?
I'm not ageist.
I'm just
every
curious.
age.
Some people just.
I get the people that go, well, I'm 80, and people tell me it's too late, and I'll never do it. And I go, never believe what anybody has to say to you, including me. Yeah. So once I say it, forget it. Please don't take it seriously. I'm an awakener. I don't call myself a teacher. I just wake you up. I go, hey, you're on the diving board. Come on in. The water's great. And it's like, okay. Wait, just give me a minute. I'm going to go. And I just go, and I just do that. So it's the moment that you're in, that, I go, now you're awake. This is where we start, because you got to live in the I don't know. So how do you get to the I don't know?
Do some things you've never done before. Let yourself go a little bit.
Well, jump out of an airplane.
Step
that's
out of the box.
Well, it's like if I feel like I'm getting kind of complacent and kind of a little bit too relaxed, and I just do something that scares me.
Yeah, you got to pull yourself out of your comfort zone.
Yeah, I wake up pretty fast. So risk is all of it.
I did the same thing when I want to scare myself. I tried talking back to my wife the other day, and that put me right back to where I needed to be.
Don't do that. I would not advocate for that.
The ever-living Jesus.
You said no to your wife. Don't ever do that.
Don't do it, Jay. That's a danger zone. You're highway to the danger zone right there.
Happy wife, happy life.
Happy.
That's it.
I'm going to earn my butterfly wings.
That's it. Yeah. So I have all ages. I have those that have been wrecked by systems that tell them you're never going to get a job with that demo. First of all, no one, the responsibility of, we are a team. So my advice to anybody who's listening, because you're all geniuses, gang. You're all perfect just the way you are. You don't need someone to tell you, well, that demo sucks and you're not going to get a job and you'll never get an agent. I go, as soon as they tell you that, I'll prove you wrong. As soon as somebody has said to you, oh, you won't watch this. And I go, did. I just got an agent. I go, yeah. So what does that mean about what so-and-so said to you? Well, and you put so much faith in faith. Dad, no, because you can always, it has nothing to do with any of it. Garbage. You're all perfect. And people
Opinions.
Go, well, they don't believe it though. The problem and the issue that most folks are having is all you need to deal with is your self-worth. It has nothing to do with your voice. It has nothing to do with the director. It has nothing to do with your agent. It has nothing to do with the writer. You are storytellers. You are here. You've signed up for it. You're soldiers of the word. God bless you. You're alchemists. You're magicians. You're wonderful. You're wonderful. And the thing that is standing in the way is the belief of self. You don't have it because you are listening to what other people are saying to you. And as soon as you go, hey, I have buck teeth and I sound like, that's what you are authentically. You come to the table with your characters and you're always a character, which is a caring actor. So don't let people tell you that you can't authenticate your joy, your humor, your sensuality, your sexuality, your irreverence. Don't let them tell you that. It's not true. But you're so afraid that to be unprofessional, whatever that means, because you've listened to all of the announcing that's going on, and it is announcing. They'll say, we don't want the announcer. We want a real person. Everything out there is the announcer. In the last 10 to 12 years, we have lost personality. We've become dead. There is a dead zone. And we won't need voice actors anymore because they have an app now where you can literally get a commercial done with a robot doing the spot that sounds like a real person because the real people sound like robots.
Damn.
Wow. You heard it here first.
Well, I tell you what, that's like
teaching.
A brick thrown.
No, and I'm sorry, but there's big, huge folks out there that are training people how to be the announcer, which is reading well, stating facts. That is not response-driven dialogue with opinion or discovery. That's not what it is. It's reading well.
Voice acting. People forget that second word so much. It's ridiculous and so disheartening.
The truth. And if your self-worth is connected what others are saying about you, about the industry, about what's expected. Oh, don't do a slate like that. Oh, no, you don't want to put that on your demo. Oh, no, it's your demo. If you want to fart a song with a raspberry for your demo, then that's what you want to give. Like, how dare somebody go, oh, you can't do that. It's creative expression. There's no rules. If you want to paint a picture that's all white, people are like, well, that's not interesting. Yeah, well, it just sold for $100,000. So somebody thought it was interesting.
And the painting's called white.
Well, do you know what I'm saying? Like, we will try to qualify the masters. Do you think Picasso, whenever the Impressionists were painting everything and everybody was borrowing from it all over the place? And then Picasso was like, he started doing those weird sort of what, and everybody was like, whoa, that's kind of weird. Like what is that? What's happening? Yeah, well, it's Picasso. I can't remember all the Impressionists, but I remember Picasso because he authenticated his own style.
Well, you know, to that point what you were saying is this, got all these people teaching the same crap. And it's like they're going, hey, I need you to be like these other 5,000 people so you can be different.
Can I tell you something? I jury the Emmys every year and have done for 15 years. I jury the Emmys for best voice, best, like, yeah. The Ultimate VO Survivor. I listened to 1,932 auditions. I listened to auditions. I cast all the time. Okay?
Jared was one of them.
I was one of them.
I'm here. Yes, and you're fabulous. Everybody's fabulous, right? Fabulous. Look there's no difference. Fabulous. It's all about nepotism. Let's be honest. At a certain point, there's 98% of the people do the exact same thing. Listen to the auditions. You can go online and hear. They're all kind of the same. And then there's 1.8% that are Robin Williams, that are unique, and Jim Carrey's, and those kinds of like, what's happening? They're so liberated because they're not trying to read in an idea of what a character should do because you've heard it on the radio or television before. No. I'm here to tell you, do you want to be a part of the 98% or do you want to be a part of the 2%?
Yeah.
And my suggestion is be a part of the 2%, but it's a lonely place.
You have to stand out.
You work all the time, but people will go, yeah, it's a bit weird. Or it's a bit too, yeah, don't do that. You just said don't do that, but I just booked that 52 animatic series. Oh, I just booked another one. Oh, but I did the thing that you told me not to, that you're telling everybody not to do. And I hear people saying it, and I go, don't tell them that. That's, as soon as you say don't do it, that is a killer of creativity. It's a killer. You kill it.
Yeah.
Just say, make sure you're not performing those ideas, showing and announcing that you're acting those ideas. But if you choose to embellish it and it's a spontaneous eruption of the gifts that you want to give with open hands, then how dare anybody say no? It's just like I get flummoxed as a successful person in this industry. And people go, well, my booking rate's 4, if I get 4 out of 10 auditions, that's a great booking rate. 1 out of 10 is phenomenal. Great job if you're getting it. I'm the retarded kid, remember? That never was going to do voice. So what the hell is happening? What do you think it is? I'm here to tell you, I believe in myself. And I love myself. It took me a lot of time to really get to that point, right? And we're in an industry that will judge you by those that don't know what they're talking about. So this is where it gets confusing.
Oh, I love you, Elley. Woo.
It gets confusing. No wonder everybody's confused and afraid because we're trying to please them. You don't want to please anybody but yourself, because when you're joyful and loving and kind and generous and innocent, your hero is there, and your hero is here to uplift humanity. But if you're afraid that I'm not doing a good job, if I don't know, I better stress this word and I've got to punch the product. And if you're in that land, man, you're already dead. You've already lost it. Now, don't get me wrong. The world has fallen asleep. So they're accepting sleep now as the norm. God forbid you would have. So you've got to embed secretly. You got to code it, man. You got to code it, So it's like where I go. I bring a little compression to my thing, which says, I love you guys. Oh my God. So all I do is this light compression, and then I move away from it just so I don't scare the people that that's real emotion. Like, I'm really happy to be here. I'm having fun talking. In my, because we'll go, Advil is 99% more effective than, well, what is that? What is it? Who's speaking? What the hell is happening? No. And I will teach all over the world. Like, it doesn't matter where, if it's Mavo or VO Atlanta or Vaughan or VO North, I go to so many conventions a year, and I teach so many workshops and so many things. And it's always the same. I'm dealing with these gorgeous, spectacular alchemist, magician storytellers that are petrified and beat themselves up. And I go, what the? There's a problem here, man. We are a team. There's no I in team. My success is your success. I give you all of mine. Because there is no mine, and we should be uplifting everybody, and we should be including everybody. And we're like, here, did you get this audition? You are perfect for this. I just sent out an audition to all of my students that I'm working with right now, little animated thing. And they're like, oh God, you'd think that I'd given them the opportunity of a lifetime, man. If we all did that for each other, we can't tell stories without each other. It's like, if you take football, I'm not even a sports person, but let's say I'm the coach and you've been training, but most people are standing on the sidelines watching the game, right? Like, they're like, oh, I love this game. Oh yeah, they scored. Oh, it's so good. Oh, that play, man, he fumbled the ball. Oh, and they comment on what other people are doing. They comment on the game itself. They da. And then I look at you, let's say, Jay, and I say, get on the field. And it's like, what? Get on the field now, man, go. And you're like, oh shit. And it's like, run, Forrest, run. And you're like, I don't know what's happening. And it's like, good, you don't know what's happening. Oh my God, you got the ball. Holy shit. Well, what are you going to do? Are you going to sit there and go, I think I'm going to stress to my right, and then I'm going to maybe do a little trill over here. No, man, you just run for your life. You accelerate towards the goal. You might fumble the ball. You might face plant. You might be taken out. Who knows? You might score. If you score, it's like, everybody goes wild. The crowd goes wild. But if you don't score and somebody else on your team scores, you're like, because it means that the storytellers are thriving. And guess what? You don't do it to score. You do it because you love playing the game, gang. You love it. And if you're not having fun when you're playing, then you're not doing it right.
That is so true.
You don't have such a blast elation every audition you do. If you're overthinking it and beating yourself up and listening back and going, that sounds crappy. Dudes, seriously, you've got to give your head a shake. Jump out of an airplane and go, pee your pants. You need to pee your pants and laugh until tears stream down your face. You have to create chaos, beautiful, wonderful chaos, so that you know what you're capable of expressing, because we've fallen asleep. I say to all of my students, the key is in the ignition and the vehicle is turned on, but you are idling in neutral.
See, I'm the guy who keeps turning the damn key because I forget I turned it on already. It's like,
I'm like, you can't be sitting in the driveway or in the garage in neutral, dude. We need to accelerate the vehicle. It needs to be accelerated. That's what communication is. We long to sit around fires, singing and dancing and sharing fable together. That's humanity. That is the connection we long for. We are now talking on a digital device together. You want to talk about being ripped apart from one another. We used to go into studios. Now I only go to one since COVID. I used to go to 20. Now I go to one and I do everything else from my home studio alone. So you have to remember your audience, and you have to remember that they're disenfranchised, lonely, fearful, depressed, disenfranchised, pulled apart, singular. Our job is to go, hey. And the only way I can go, hey, hi, oh, I love you guys, is literally, I have to accelerate towards them. And if I sit in neutral, there's no acceleration of any kind. I state what it is in a dead zone. I kind of come in I think I'm being relaxed and real. Dead zone, dead zone.
I think even nowadays when the VO market is so saturated with people trying to get into this business, and like, you know, the audition count is like crazy. Like when people submit auditions, it's just crazy. And they have to listen through all of them. And I think what you're talking about is being authentic, being different, standing apart is going to definitely help you.
Well, they'll always tell you things. Exactly. And it's not that you need to stand apart. It's that you need to say, I got the job. I'm winning. But we go, I need to do more training. No, you don't. I mean, could you're always going to train a little bit, but it's your responsibility. That's your discipline. That's your dedication. If you're an opera singer, you sing every day. If you're a pianist, you play. If you can't just kind of go, I'm a voice actor, and only come to it when you have an audition. It's like, what do you know? Acting exercises, because we're fearful. We don't want to be judged, and we want to be nice, but we don't even bring personality to the table. And we aren't even nice. Like there's no innocence in us. There's no humility in us. There's no joy in us. There's no love in us. We don't love anybody. We don't even love ourselves. Like, we don't have time. We're too tired. Oh my God. Like, people are cranky. They're cranky, cranky, cranky. Mature people are cranky, which is why you have to listen to theta brain music and get your brainwave back to the child brain, which is theta brainwave, which is the play place, which has no responsibility. And people go, you're so irresponsible. And I go, yeah, and I'm happy.
I feel that.
Look how your life's working out for you.
Well, and I just go, come and meet me there and relinquish. And people go, yeah, well, there's all kinds of, listen, life is suffering. We chose to come here for our lessons and to assuage our karma. While we're here, do meritorious acts of kindness so that you can build up your karma bank for next time.
What do they say?
That's all we're meant to do. Is shit going to happen? Sure, shit's going to happen, because we live in the shit zone. It's called samsara. Here we are. It's difficult. It's hard. Everything about it. Now, you can have fun with the hard and go, oh, that really hurt. That was really brutal. Okay. I thank you for that, though, because it made me a lot stronger.
We're going to change our name of the show to VO and Shit Show, I think. I don't know.
VO and Shit Show.
The VO
Starring evangelist Elley Ray.
Well, and just think about it, man. There's nothing better than a great dump. You want to unload? We share. I go share your shit, man. That's what brings human beings together, where we can share our shit.
Absolutely.
That's awesome.
Sometimes it's good shit, sometimes bad shit, sometimes just shit.
I just let it go, man. There's nothing you can do about it. Everybody does it. Everybody communicates. Everybody is full of shit.
That's true.
My eyes are brown. I'm extra full of shit.
Well, you know what? Like, I swear to, and I mean, it's a good thing. There's nothing wrong with that. That's what makes us a team.
That's true.
The good, the bad, the ugly, it all comes to the same place. But if we remember that we're heroes, if we remember what we do, what we signed up for, and it's not about the money, gang. I mean, it really, honestly,
you have to make
people
money.
think about it. And I always go, well, I always say to my students, how much you want to make in voiceover this year? And they go, oh, I don't know. I'd be happy with like 30,000. I go, you didn't even know. You just thought about it right there. You got to know. And then you've got to know, well, how many auditions do I have to get for $600 jobs to make 100,000, 200,000, 300,000, depending on whatever you want. Well, you can do 2 leads in 2 animated series. That's $200,000. If you get an international television campaign, TV campaign, that's like anywhere from 250 to 300,000 bucks. So focus there. When you focus all your energy on the pay to plays that then did with no, I need to have 12 agents. So I have 60 auditions a week. And then if your booking rate is this, then you go, that's nothing to do with my voice. Nothing. Zero. Do some people have beautiful instruments? Yes. But are they able to act? Is there a character that is there, or is it just a sound? Is it a beautiful sound and lacking in empathy, love, joy? I don't know. Doesn't matter what your voice does. You've got to be able to change the temperature of the room. I need to go, when I listen to things, so when I listen to my students, I teach at a bunch of universities, voiceover for universities. And if I hold my breath for a minute, if I go, then you're touching me. I need to be touched, man. I need to feel something. I don't feel anything anymore. We feel empty. Be honest with yourselves. You feel empty. And I'll tell you where the magic lives is us. That's where it lives. Take my breath away. Take my breath away. I dare you.
Love it.
Right?
I love it.
Yeah.
Damn, this has been like one of the best episodes ever. It's been like being in a VO church, like literally. I've been at a kick-ass sermon.
Preach it, girl.
All day.
Preach it.
Like, yeah.
I'm preaching, baby. We're going to have a sacrifice. That's when I bring somebody up to we bring somebody up to the microphone and I go, are you going to give yourself? Are you going to give yourself to that lammy lamb?
I'll give myself to you anytime you need me to. It's okay. I got you.
That's like one of my pets.
Oh,
it's like one of your pets. Jared, would you go be your pet?
Hell yeah, I'd be an amazing pet.
Right?
Everybody I've ever talked to has mentioned Elley Ray. They were like, Jared, you love her. I was like, yeah, no shit. I already do. If you say I do, then I do. They said we're kindred spirits, but we may make shit blow up if we get too close to each other.
Oh, I like creating an explosion. I believe that I always use the thing and I go, I need you to erupt. Where's the eruption? There's no eruption. So I always go, it's like an orgasm, guys. The work that we do has a beginning, middle, end with a climax. That's the shape of story, whether it's 15 seconds, 30 seconds, a minute, half hour, 2 hours. That is the shape of story. But the storytellers come to it with no acceleration towards a climax, no unknown delight, panic, pain, dogs licking my bum, whatever's happening, rising to a climax. It's always a different experience. Every experience we have will be different. It's a different story, but we don't experience any kind of delight in the desire of reaching out towards an audience and sharing an intimate experience with them. And the only way I can equate it is that. It's like you've got to be so vulnerable and open and intimate with an audience that you forget is there because you feel like you're alone in your studio and you're just kind of acting like this. It's like masturbating, right? It's like, well, I'm by myself. Like I can just sort of do this for me, or I can go and be with the world and have an experience with them that is intimate and beautiful and makes you feel more alive after the fact.
Everyone, watch us masturbate.
But I mean, I feel like that's what a lot of the work is right now. It's just a lot
of it is.
I don't know what's happening.
There's a lot of people,
you're
they're not even tooting their own horns. They're like stroking their own trombone. It's like, dude, take a short slide, okay, brother? Easy.
It's just like, remember the person over there that's afraid, that you've got to go, it's okay. Hi, it's all right. I mean, have we got the time to hear what the audience is speaking while we're doing the spots? That's the issue, is that most storytellers believe that it's only them telling the story. It's a dialogue with your audience. You're in a dialogue. They're talking the whole time, but nobody can hear them.
Yeah.
I can hear, like, I think that's your big connector. I can hear the world. I can hear them asking me questions. If I'm doing a preschool animated series, I can hear the children going, "I'm afraid to go in there." And I'm like,
I would just like to say,
afraid to go in there, right? And as opposed to, I'm afraid to go in there. I go, I am afraid to go in there, as a response driven to my audience. Then you include your audience in part of the story. The audience is us. It's humanity. And I'm both audience and storyteller, just like your audience is part of the story too. But nobody's teaching about the audience being part of the story. They're talking to you the whole time. Well, what about Viagra? Like, how does it work, right? Like, and it's like, well, I don't know, are you having issues with your, because this is going to make it a lot better. Are you having issues with your blood? Because we'll go to that kind of talk. And it's like, no, get intimate. We're talking about things like putting our parents in a home, hospitals. We're talking about PSAs. We're talking about headache medication. We're talking about private things like menstrual pain. And like, guys, we don't speak to one another intimately because we're afraid that you're going to, I don't know, we've forgotten you're there, and we're afraid you're going to judge us for being intimate with you. No, I want somebody like George, who used to drive the streetcar from one end of the city to the other 20 years ago. George rode the TTC. He drove it, and he would sing songs, tell jokes and stories for the entire train. So everybody was entertained. Did it cost him anything? He loved to do it. Everybody loved him because everybody sits in silence. Nobody talks to anybody. They all sit like this. And our job is to go talk to everybody. That's our job. Stop talking. Stop talking. Remember? That's the world. That's the world we live in.
Can born we stop to do this.
Don't bug me. Don't bug me. Are you talking to me? Are you?
For sure.
Yes. We're here because we want to talk to people.
I because you're hearing the world, but at the same time, I think you're talking to everyone too. So I think that's fantastic. The whole world is
all communication. That's what it is. That's what we do.
Love it.
We communicate.
I love it. I love it. I love it. I love it.
I love it also.
I love it. I love everything about everything.
So where can everyone find you if they wanted to find where to find you?
Oh, you can't find
the Andromeda Galaxy. She's on.
Where do they find it? Elley Ray? Where do we find it?
I told you there's a field, and you can meet me there, and they'll go, "Where is the field?"
Yeah, where is the field? Let's all find out where the field is and meet Elley Ray there.
Oh, I hate all that promotion stuff. It's just dumb.
All right, well, you guys know where to find Elley Ray. If she doesn't want to put her little things up there, we'll put something on.
We're going to put some things up there no matter what. Even if she just says it or doesn't say anything. But I give you the opportunity.
Find you. There's people who need you. There's broken ass adults who need you. And I'm going to just be honest with you. Out of the adults that I've talked to, this is the first time I've truly talked to you. And out of the people I know in the industry that have worked with you, you help fix broken people. So you say it any other way you want to, but the way they talked to me, and when they told me and you would absolutely just love each other, it was because we have a lot of the same things. Your empathy for the living and love is insane. So you help fix the broken. What?
Well, there's always, think about it. If you've got a break in you and it's healed, it's stronger. The broken part is stronger. It's like if you break a bone and it heals, it's going to be stronger and thicker. And I feel like we are responsible to one another. We are responsible to humanity. But as storytellers, we get it in a communicative way. And if we can connect and heal one another and help one another, hey, man, I have been gifted in this industry beyond my wildest dreams because remember, I wasn't supposed to do it, according to some.
Yeah.
So I just feel like I'll give you all my tricks, but like I say, whatever I say, forget that I've said it. It's like the Buddha, right? Like I'm a Buddhist. He always taught, I was never here and I didn't teach anything. Because if you hang on to that, you make it a religion or you make it a thing, and it can't be, because it actually comes from you. It actually is all in everybody anyway. It's just somebody needs to give you permission to be yourself.
Yes.
love yourself,
Yes.
to not listen to the naysayers and that you're too old and you've got this wrong with you, and you've got an accent, and if you don't lose that accent you'll never work, and all of that baloney, make me a sandwich already kind of talk is like, it's not going to help you. Put a pickle on the side.
Well, I'm glad that you ignored everybody that told you couldn't do it and you kept going.
Hell yeah.
Well, I'm glad I'm still here, and I am transforming daily, and I transform daily through the support of the team.
Well, you grew wings from the beginning of the show until now, so I'm
a beautiful butterfly.
I love being that little hairy caterpillar, though. I love going into that. Hairy caterpillar is a really cute, fuzzy little thing that tickles noses. And, it's like, what's your favorite thing to eat? Somebody asked me, and I said, my dog's noses. Because you just go, we live in special. We live in wonderful times. Except we sometimes can't see it because of what others have institutionalized into us. So we have to unlearn.
That's true.
What we think
I just want to get in the cocoon with all the dogs and have a great time.
Right? Guys, I don't even want to end the show, but I mean, I gotta have to at some point in time.
Unfortunately.
I can sit here forever. This is so awesome.
I'm so glad. Okay, so as Carol Burnett.
I get to be Carol Burnett.
Time together, just to have a laugh and sing a song. Seems we just got started, and before you know it,
drop it like it's hot.
Of the time we have to say,
black and yellow, black and yellow, black and two different songs. So sorry, guys.
No, it's heard that Carol Burnett sang it at the end of her song.
Every episode, yes.
It's absolutely fantastical.
You guys are the best.
You're the best.
If you ever want to talk honestly, if you ever need anything at all, talk to my assistant, call in. Elley assistant at gmail.com.
All right.
You guys know what that is, right?
Do.
If you ever need, he'll give you stuff.
He'll give us everything.
I'll give you whatever you want. Like that's what I'll give you whatever you want.
Willie. Well, that's fantastic.
All of it. Take it. Take the tricks.
Thank you so much for being on. We really super appreciate it, and we love you.
We love you.
We love you.
Everyone out there. You heard it from Elley Ray. Don't feed into the bullshit and stay true to yourself. Don't beat yourself up. There's not enough time for that shit.
Come out of your shell. Be an authentic person.
Love yourself, because we do.
And we'll all see you later. Thank you so much, Elley Ray. All right, guys. We'll see you next time. Bye.
Ciao, ciao. We're stronger together than we are apart.